Good day, beloved brothers and sisters in Christ. Israel has declared a state of war in response to escalating conflicts. Many view recent natural disasters, persecution, and global instability as signs of impending end times. Israeli officials have recently revealed startling prophecies they believe are about to be fulfilled. This prophecy concerns the arrival of the Messiah in Israel, which is central to the beliefs of Christianity, Judaism, Islam, and other faiths. Israeli officials' recent warnings have stirred global concern. Join us as we explore these prophecies, their link to the reconstruction of the Third Temple, and the opposition of the Antichrist. To understand these events, we look back at Israel, the Holy Land for Christians, Muslims, and Jews. Jerusalem, its capital, is home to sacred sites like the Temple Mount, Western Wall, and Mount Zion, significant in Judaism and Christianity. Christianity ties Israel closely to Jesus' life and death. The Bible mentions the construction of Solomon's temple on the Temple Mount, which was destroyed during the Babylonian siege. The Second Temple, known as Herod's Temple, replaced it, but was later destroyed by the Romans. After the destruction of the Second Temple, the aspiration to build a Third Temple emerged. The Jewish people envisioned a temple that would be impervious to destruction and surpass the grandeur of its predecessors. However, constructing the Third Temple is challenging, facing opposition from many countries, particularly Islamic nations. Jerusalem has been contested, with West Jerusalem recognized as Israel's capital and East Jerusalem claimed by Palestine. The presence of the Dome of the Rock on the Temple Mount complicates matters, as Jewish access and worship are restricted. Scholars have also questioned the traditional belief that the previous temples were built on the same site, leading to investigations that uncovered that the Al-Aqsa Mosque was built over a Jewish ritual cleansing site. Jerusalem holds immense significance for Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. For Judaism, Jerusalem is the holiest city, associated with God's divine presence and home to the Western Wall and the Temple Mount. Christianity values Jerusalem for its connection to Jesus' life, crucifixion, and resurrection, with key sites like the Church of the Holy Sepulchre and the Via Dolorosa drawing millions of pilgrims. The Mount of Olives is also significant as the place of Jesus' ascension. For the Islamic faith, Jerusalem holds a distinguished position as the third holiest city, after Mecca and Medina. This reverence is deeply rooted in the belief that the Prophet Muhammad made a miraculous night journey from Mecca to Jerusalem, ascending to heaven from the Al-Aqsa Mosque on the Temple Mount. The Al-Aqsa Mosque, considered the third most sacred site in Islam, is a focal point for worship and spiritual reflection. Adjacent to it is the Dome of the Rock, an iconic Islamic shrine with its striking golden dome, symbolizing Jerusalem's significant role in Islam. Jerusalem's importance extends beyond religious practices, influencing the region's historical and geopolitical landscape. The city has been a center of religious devotion, conflict, and the quest for sovereignty. Its rich history, marked by the rise and fall of numerous empires, including the Israelites, Canaanites, Romans, Byzantines, Arabs, Crusaders, and Ottomans, demonstrates its status as a prize for conquerors and a hub of cultural and religious exchange. Today, Jerusalem remains divided along religious and political lines. The Old City, with its sacred sites and winding streets, represents a microcosm of various faiths coexisting in a constrained space. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict adds complexity to Jerusalem's significance, with both groups claiming it as their capital and striving for control over the city. This ongoing dispute continues to be a major issue in peace negotiations and international diplomacy. Regarding the Third Temple, the Jewish community, particularly the Sanhedrin, has initiated a grand project to build it. This endeavor involves extensive preparations and reflects the community's enduring hope and ambition To comprehend the full magnitude of these events, let us retrace our steps to Israel, the very place where this captivating narrative began. Christians, Muslims, and Jews all regard Israel as a Middle Eastern nation situated on the Mediterranean Sea, revered as the historical Holy Land. Its capital, Jerusalem, holds a special place in the hearts of believers from these religions, as it is home to numerous sacred sites, such as the Temple Mount, the Old City, the Western Wall, and Mount Zion, which are of great significance in Judaism and Christianity. For Christians, Israel is deeply intertwined with the life and death of Jesus, known as Isa in Islam, who is revered as one of the messengers of Allah. According to their holy book, certain prophecies are anticipated to come to pass, signifying the second coming of Jesus. One notable mention in the Bible is the construction of the first ever temple, known as Solomon's Temple. King Solomon erected this temple, or what is now called the Temple Mount in Jerusalem. It was built as a tribute to God and existed between the 10th and 6th centuries BC. However, it met destruction during the Babylonian siege of Jerusalem under the reign of King Nebuchadnezzar. After the demise of Solomon's Temple, the Second Temple, later known as Herod's Temple, was constructed. Initially, it served as a modest place of worship, but underwent a grand redesign and reconstruction during the reign of King Herod the Great, featuring impressive walls and columns. The Second Temple stood for over 580 years, until it was once again destroyed, this time by the Romans during their invasion of Jerusalem. Following the destruction of the Second Temple, the idea of building a third temple emerged. The Jewish people were determined to construct a temple that would not be susceptible to destruction by external forces. Their vision was to create a temple that would not only serve as a sacred place of worship, but also surpass the grandeur of its predecessors. However, the task of building the third temple is far from simple, as it has faced opposition from many countries, particularly Islamic nations. Presently, Jerusalem is shared with Palestine, and while some countries recognize West Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, they regard East Jerusalem as the capital of Palestine. This division is due in part to the presence of the Dome of the Rock, an Islamic monument situated on the Temple Mount. Jewish visitors are discouraged from entering the complex, and worship by Jews is strictly prohibited. Additionally, some scholars have cast doubt on the long-standing Jewish belief that the previous Jewish temples stood on the same site. This claim has stirred controversy and prompted further investigations by researchers and scholars. Interestingly, their inquiries have led to a captivating discovery. It has been revealed that the Al-Aqsa, a prominent Islamic structure, was constructed atop a Jewish ritual cleansing site. What makes Jerusalem hold such great importance for the three major Abrahamic religions, and what significance does it have to the rebuilding of the temple? Jewish organizations and movements dedicated to the rebuilding of the Third Temple have long been engaged in fervent efforts to realize their goal, tirelessly advocating for the construction of a new sanctuary on the revered Temple Mount. However, to truly grasp the magnitude of their unique struggles and triumphs, it is essential to delve into the profound significance of Jerusalem within the context of all three Abrahamic religions. Jerusalem stands as a city of unparalleled religious importance, not solely for Judaism, but also for Christianity and Islam. Its historical and spiritual significance is deeply entrenched in the beliefs and traditions associated with each of these faiths. For Judaism, Jerusalem holds the esteemed distinction of being the holiest city, as it is intricately intertwined with the history and religious identity of the Jewish people. According to Jewish tradition, Jerusalem is a chosen place where God manifested His divine presence on earth. The Western Wall, also known as the Wailing Wall, is an embodiment of this sacred bond. It remains a revered site where Jews congregate to offer prayers, thereby expressing their profound connection to God and their ancestral heritage. Moreover, the Temple Mount, situated in Jerusalem, is believed to be the very location of the first and second Jewish temples, rendering it a hallowed site of worship and pilgrimage. Christianity too bestows huge significance upon Jerusalem. The city is closely associated with the life, crucifixion, and resurrection of Jesus Christ, as documented in the New Testament. Numerous pivotal events in Jesus' life transpired within the confines of Jerusalem. The Church of the Holy Sepulchre, situated in the city's Old City, stands as the traditional site of Jesus' crucifixion, burial, and resurrection. This sacred edifice ranks among the most consequential Christian pilgrimage destinations worldwide, drawing millions of devout believers each year. The Via Dolorosa, traversing the Old City, is heralded as the path Jesus traversed while bearing the weight of the cross. Additionally, the Mount of Olives to the east of Jerusalem holds profound significance in Christianity, the spot where Jesus ascended to heaven. For the Islamic community, Jerusalem occupies a position of great reverence as the third holiest city, following Mecca and Medina. Its religious significance stems from its association with the Prophet Muhammad. Muslims believe that the Prophet undertook a miraculous journey from Mecca to Jerusalem during the night journey, ascending to heaven from the Al-Aqsa Mosque situated on the Temple Mount. The Al-Aqsa Mosque, regarded as the third holiest site in Islam, serves as a place of prayer and spiritual significance. Standing alongside it is the iconic Dome of the Rock, a revered Islamic shrine. The golden Dome of the Rock stands as an architectural and religious symbol of Jerusalem's profound importance in Islam. Jerusalem's profound significance to Judaism, Christianity, and Islam has deeply influenced both its religious practices and the region's historical and geopolitical landscape. Throughout history, the city has been a central point of religious devotion, conflict, and aspirations for sovereignty. Its complex nature, marked by overlapping religious and historical claims, has consistently fueled tension and disputes among various factions. From ancient Israelites and Canaanites to the Romans, Byzantines, Arabs, Crusaders, and Ottomans, Jerusalem has been a coveted prize for conquerors and a vibrant hub for religious and cultural exchange. Today, Jerusalem remains divided along religious and political lines. The Old City, with its sacred sites and narrow streets, represents the coexistence of different faiths in a constrained area. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict has intensified the city's significance, with both sides claiming it as their capital and striving for sovereignty. The status of Jerusalem remains a contentious issue in peace negotiations and international diplomacy. Regarding the Third Temple, the Jewish community, particularly the Sanhedrin, is undertaking a significant project to rebuild it. This effort involves various preparations, including cultivating farmland and sourcing the red heifer, whose ashes are essential for ritual purification. Obtaining a red heifer is challenging, as only 9 have been used in purification rituals over a millennium. Rabbi Chaim Richmond and other experts are leveraging modern technology to produce a flawless red heifer, which must be born in Israel and remain unblemished and unused for labor. The training of the Kohanim, priests responsible for temple rituals, and the construction of a new altar on the Temple Mount are also crucial aspects of this endeavor. The ongoing Muslim control of the Temple Mount, which restricts Jewish access and worship, drives the Jewish community's determination to reconstruct the temple as a sacred place for their faith. Political action, rather than legal solutions, is required to address the obstacles posed by the Temple Mount's control. Traditional methods have failed, and Israel's Judicial Council has suggested exploring alternative approaches with international mediation. The recent alignment of Israeli warnings with biblical prophecies, including the emergence of the Antichrist, adds to the urgency and complexity of the project. The rebuilding of the Third Temple combines ancient traditions with modern technology and historical precedents, such as the Siloam Pool's construction by King Hezekiah, underscore the city's enduring religious significance. Support our mission by clicking the Super Thanks button and subscribing to stay updated on future videos.